Hello everyone! As you may have guessed from the title of this video, we will be talking about how recoil stabilization works in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Unlike a popular belief, in some cases it can actually decrease not only horizontal, but also vertical recoil. There will be a tiny theory part about how recoil works in this game, and then we will get straight to the point. So, recoil. Most of the video games that came out recently use the following model of recoil. In this model, each weapon has both random bullet spread and also follow a certain recoil pattern. As you may have noticed by playing Modern Warfare, weapons don't act the same every time you fire them. The simplest way to explain how it works would be the following. Imagine a spray pattern. The dots in this pattern would be so-called ideal points of impact. The gun would recoil from one dot to the next. Now imagine a circle around each dot in our spray pattern. The area of each circle would indicate how much each bullet can deviate from its respective ideal point of impact. Finally, the main feature of this model is that when a bullet decides to deviate, the recoil acts accordingly. If a bullet hits left from its ideal point of impact, the gun would also kick slightly more to the left. If a bullet hits lower, then you would feel less vertical recoil and vice versa. This model is currently being used by most of the modern FPS games. Insurgency Sandstorm, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, and even Battlefield 5. In Call of Duty series, it is present in this year's Modern Warfare, Black Ops 4, and yeah, this game also exists. Now, before I show the results, I should state my method of testing to avoid any confusion later on. To find out what recoil stabilization actually do, I used the following method of testing. My guns were 3 AKs in 7.62, each with a drum mag, no stock, and an 8.5-inch barrel. The first one was left as is. The second one had Merc foregrip and compensator. Finally, the third one had muzzle brake and Commando foregrip. I stood in front of a wall and shot as many bursts as I could fit. Then I took a screenshot of a wall and brought it into Photoshop. I marked the first and the fifth bullet, since that's the number I chose, and line markings for each burst. All the screenshots were made of the same wall from the same place. All the shots were taken from the same range from the wall, and each AK shot into the wall around 30 times. As of results on your screen, you can see groupings for each of the 3 AKs, and results are surprisingly not at the same time. As was expected, the stock version did the worst. There is a huge gap between the first and the fifth bullet, which indicates that overall recoil was pretty strong in this case. The bullets are randomly scattered around the decently sized shapeless area. The version with Merc and Comp obviously has a lower vertical kick, although bullet spread is still to be desired. Finally, the Commando Brake version, surprisingly, has a vertical kick of controllable version with Merc and Comp. And here we can say hello to everyone who said that stabilization means horizontal recoil, horizontal balance or whatever. Also, we can clearly see that in this case, bullets tend to bias themselves towards a certain point, which I doubt to be just a coincidence because remember, we have 30 samples for each setup, so there is a abysmal chance of this happening randomly, yet it happened here, which definitely tells us something. It is obvious that the better name for what Infinity Ward called recoil stabilization would be recoil randomness, since that's what's being reduced when bullets become more biased towards a certain point. Now, how do we explain that by decreasing randomness we also make a pattern smaller? Now, I think it's pretty obvious for you that by putting stability attachments on the gun, we basically decrease bullet spread. So let's not forget that by doing so, we decrease it both horizontally and, which is more important, vertically. You see, sometimes you get unlucky and too many bullets will decide to hit higher than their respective ideal points of impact, thus resulting in an increase in pattern size. By putting stability attachments, we decrease bullet spread, thus decreasing the amount of additional vertical recoil from such cases. Going for stability now might sound like a no-brainer, but in practice it's really not too much better. Here are the test results of 2 AKs and 7.62, one with Merc and Compensator, and the other with Commando Brake combo. I fired 2 15-round bursts from each since that's what I think the practical application would look like, and the results are pretty much identical. There's virtually no difference between them. In conclusion, I've tested only one gun with 2 attachment setups, which is too little of a data and only constitutes that going for stability is viable. Although my method of testing might inspire some mad lads in COD community to run larger tests. Also, it will be useful to those who make weapon guides to get objective data on recoil's behavior when new guns will eventually be added to the game. For now, thanks for watching and peace.